the dollar compared to the dollar of 1913 that they were entrusted to. So the unemployment rate, when you look at it, honestly, is closer to 20% than the 7 or 8 or 9% that they claim. There's no such thing that we've experienced for a long time with stable pricing. So I would give the Federal Reserve very, very low grade. I would think. I don't know whether it's an F or an F minus, but it's very, very low. Is if we oppose big government, which I'm assuming that just about everybody in this audience is opposing big government. Having big government and having government do the things that it's been doing for so long is always at the expense of liberty. So if you advocate big government, you always have to sacrifice some portion of our personal liberty. So this is the reason that once you come around to endorsing the basic principle of liberty, you have to be in opposition, to big government and the financing of big government through the Federal Reserve System. What would happen if you didn't have the Federal Reserve to facilitate big government is the government would have to pay the bills. And if they didn't have enough taxation, they would have to borrow the money. But if you didn't have the Fed to buy the debt, then it would stop, because if they were spending too much, interest rates would go up and they would recognize that we can't afford it. The fact that you can borrow, and we have been sort of given the blessing of a reserve currency, it has allowed this borrowing to go on too long and the inflation to go on too long. But what has happened in these last 4 years is that the attitude has changed. The people are waking up in two areas. The economic crisis has hit. People know that we're not going to come flying out of this, that we have to have structural changes, and they're also fed up with our foreign policy, and they want our troops to come home. Yeah! If you don't support the war by political spending, they want to paint you as being un-American, unpatriotic, and not caring about the troops. If they ever say that to you, ask them why the active military personnel donates more money to our campaign than all the other campaigns. They know what it's like. It's one of the, psychologically, it's one of the most overbearing wars that we've ever been in. Even in World War II, the length of time that our soldiers were exposed to potential immediate danger was very short compared to what's going on now, and you add this up. And it is understandable why so many are coming home. Not only do they have head injuries, but they have this post-traumatic stress syndrome, and it's real, and they're suffering for it. We now have an epidemic of suicide. We're losing more of our military personnel from suicide from the fighting over there. But it's deeply flawed in foreign policy, getting individuals involved in wars that have not been declared, they're not moral, they're not constitutional, and it doesn't make sense. We don't know why we're there, we don't know why it's in. Why does somebody want to go over there and get shot at and get killed and see no end to it? It's very frustrating, and that is the reason that if we care about our active duty people, if we care about our national defense, if we care about our veterans,